Hi, my name is Ray Santos. I am a product support engineer with Intel Customer Support. Today, I will demonstrate how to recover the BIOS of an Intel NUC product using its power button. Why would you perform a BIOS recovery? Well, in case your NUC isn't booting correctly or isn't booting at all, but the NUC is still getting power. Really, any unusual BIOS behavior, or if the Intel NUC isn't working as expected. Your first step is to recover the BIOS. To begin, we need to download the latest BIOS from downloadcenter.intel.com. The easiest way to find the BIOS is to search for your product code. I'm using the NUC 8IBEK, so I type that into the search box and press enter. As you can see, there are many different results. Next, we want to select the most recent BIOS update. We want to select the version that has latest displayed beneath the version number. As you can see, there are several methods to update your BIOS, so we need to read the detailed description to determine the correct file, which is the one ending in .bio. Select the blue box with the .bio file to download it. Once the file is downloaded, copy the file to the root directory of a USB flash drive. You don't have to use a blank USB flash drive, but it can only have one .bio file on it during the recovery process. It is very important that you do not remove the USB flash drive until the recovery process is complete. To begin the process, power off the Intel NUC, insert the USB flash drive, then power on the Intel NUC by holding the power button until it turns yellow for about 4 seconds. The Intel NUC will reboot into the recovery screen. It could take up to a minute for the recovery screen to appear. Once it does, press F4 for BIOS recovery, and the recovery process will start. The update could take up to 5 minutes. As you'll see on the screen after the update is complete, you need to turn off the Intel NUC, remove the power plug, wait for a few seconds, then plug the power back in. At this point, the USB flash drive can be removed anytime after the Intel NUC has been turned off. Lastly, anytime a BIOS is updated, it is always a good idea to load the BIOS defaults. Before that, make sure to note any changes you've made to the BIOS settings so you can reapply them after the defaults are loaded. To get into the BIOS, power on the Intel NUC, and when you see the Intel NUC splash screen, press the F2 key. If you missed getting into the BIOS during the splash screen with F2, reboot the Intel NUC, and once you see the number lock light up on your keyboard, immediately press the F2 key, which should take you into the BIOS. Once in the BIOS, press F9, which will load the BIOS defaults. Then, press F10 and enter to save and restart. And if you have any custom settings, re-enter the BIOS and make those changes, and then again, press F10 and enter to save and restart. If your Intel NUC issue is not resolved after recovering the BIOS, check out our other video on how to do a BIOS recovery using its security jumper. Thanks for watching.